Oh,
Happy November 1st, Gavin. Happy no known occurrences November. I spent, I spent like 20 minutes trying to find a Salmon Run related word that started with the letter N. And no such thing exists. Kind of like our game. But I did find out that nighttime waves are officially called known occurrences. So, you know, that's kind of close enough.
sorry. What? Nighttime waves?
Yeah, like, Mothership,
Ah,
Griller, nighttime, dark time,
dark time.
words. Why can't I check my hazard level? How am I supposed to know how difficult this is going to be?
I mean, we can just look at our weapon lineup, see the Hydra, and be like, oh, okay. Falling out of Executive VP today.
It's okay. Our teammates from last time are certain to join us now.
I don't think they could help. Unless we're like, it's the Hydra. You're just fucked.
They're certain to join us now. It's okay. We have the NZAP. It balances out. I wasn't really paying attention to what the other weapons were.
One of the nozzle noses, and I forget.
Golly, I sure hope it's the short one. Oh, I gotta be able to find out right now.
I got the answer. Oh, the ink brush, that was it.
Ew, oh, fuck. I don't have the energy for that.
So use any topics you wanted to talk about wisely for the length of this.
Well, there's an obvious one. How was your Halloween?
It's the same as any other day.
What the you no trick-or-treaters or anything?
No one really comes around because of the plague.
What? No, but like,
it's changed everything. I mean, what
Gavin,
did happen
that's
was
not
there was,
that's not
oh,
real
if you let me
anymore.
finish. What did happen is that there was just hours of really big fireworks shows.
Fucking fireworks, people. Well, you know, fireworks can't transmit COVID unless.
Alas. Not be able to get 10 eggs.
I mean, look at this luring, though. It's beautiful.
Going to get us annihilated. If a like snake keeps coming in like this, it's just welcome to hell. Population us.
Hey, man, I'm back up here. My favorite spot of all time. Come on. Come on.
Really.
What the fuck? I wasn't risking anything. I didn't even know what the time was. While I was looking into Salmon Run stuff, I was also, I also saw that, like, some bosses... Oh, perfect. Some bosses, use, like, specials that I didn't even realize. Like, the slamming lid is, like, akin to the big bubbler. Unfortunately, I kind of forget what, everything else was. So...
So much for that.
Flying fuckers or something. Not the flying fuckers, the... I can't really do anything about that. Does this kill him? Nope. It's okay. Never mind, I whiffed. What is this? Cohawks on parade? Hey, I hit the middle! Let's go! It is real!
It's a combination of that and like there isn't enough young children in the neighborhood here.
That's what I'm starting to wonder now, because what was it, like 2 or 3 years ago? Luke and I sat out for trick-or-treaters for like 4 hours, and like 2 people came. Luke had his costume. I had the Halloween playlist. We got the speakers dragged. He got an extension cable from his house. We had the speakers go all the way down, and then no one came. So I'm like, but now I'm back in my parents' neighborhood, and I remember having so many good Halloweens here. And then this year we got like 10 groups of kids, like nothing. I'm like, is Halloween dead?
Need to remind you of the scalding plague that has everyone terrified of entering other people's
Well,
domiciles.
you see, Gavin, that's not real anymore. That's over. COVID is over. It's the long one. I can't even tell.
It's a long one, yeah.
That sucks. This sucks.
Okay.
Yeah, it's depressing. I had the same situation. I fucking spent like $70 on a speaker for this.
People have like Halloween parties and a lot of personal stuff still. I've seen like a lot of that. People have loads of people talking about that and doing it and all. And I think that's kind of what replaces it. So you just have organized parties rather than going around people's homes. Or you
Okay,
go around specific homes or whatever.
That's not the spirit of the holiday.
I mean, it's not, but the world has changed.
I think that
In time, God willing, Christmas will come to be less about consumerism.
No, I think it's fine.
And also just kind of fade from prominence to be replaced by a more general, less religious holiday.
I think it's fine. We'll have to have 2 birthdays then somehow. Flying fucker. Oh no! Yes! He's goated with the sauce!
It's like these like uniquely biased situations for wanting Christmas to be like that.
Wah! Chris gets me expensive Christmas presents every year except for last year, and I hate it. Wah!
Your birthday's on the same day.
That's what all my friends sound like. Pisses me off.
It's almost like in a world where, like, especially you who has mentioned having like needing money for this, that, and the other, being short quite a few times. It can feel pretty bad when not some people.
See, no, I live for this. This isn't me being psychologically manipulated into getting meta units that will suddenly not be meta in 2 months. This is real. And see, I'm smart enough to get people like actual presents that will last a while instead of like food. Imagine getting someone food. It's ridiculous. That's why Christmas will always be better than Halloween.
If food's pretty good, then it's sometimes that's good enough.
Nope.
A friend got me a rotisserie chicken for a birthday once, and that was a fucking good weekend.
Happy November. We have the brain strainer now. It's sad, you know? It's just sad. Because Halloween is funny Christmas. You know, that's all it is. It's funny Christmas. That's all it needs to be. And if it's dying, then what the fuck? Do you think the
partially dying because of Christmas?
Do you think the birth rates are down? Do you think that's it?
No, I think the issue is that it's being killed by Christmas, along with the plague discouraging anyone from going into anywhere.
Yeah, that's not so much of a concern over here.
Over here it still is, and even if it isn't like a concern among some psychotics, there's enough parents who will be like, no, I'd rather not my child didn't get the plague, either because I don't want them fucked up for life, or because I just don't want to deal with them in the house over like X amount of days, and all the hassle that comes with all of that shit, because we still have quite like COVID tracking and regulations saying if you get it, fuck off like into your house and stay there for 2 weeks.
I mean, who doesn't?
Like, all of that basically is reason to be like, okay, let's just not go up to random strangers' houses in case you do catch it, especially if you have, like, any number of reasons from, like, your own health to other people's health to be worried about that would keep you from, being able to chance it, so to speak, not that you ever should. Because it may just destroy you for life.
Okay, but here's an important question. Did you give Luigi bat wings for Halloween?
No, because
What the fuck? What the
because
fuck?
if you try and put anything on him, he will flip the fuck out and they'll start tearing it to pieces.
Halloween
We tried this with
dead.
we tried this with like even like little Christmas hats and stuff, and no, he just like rolls around and tries to bite them off his like feet or his, like gets it off his head. Like, he hates having stuff on. He's an extremely sensitive little cat.
He doesn't get it. He doesn't get the spirit of Halloween.
If I do something so much as just like drape a sock over him while he's lying there, and he just starts rolling and trying to get it off him.
Whenever he's being bad, put the Santa hat on him.
God help us, we had to put a collar on him.
Free him. Let him roam.
I mean, the thing is, he explicitly doesn't want the roam.
What the fuck?
He once tried the roam, and he just ended up 2 gardens over and wet himself and sat there crying as if someone would find him.
Well, on the bright side, if he does get out, which apparently isn't even likely, so that's just inherently good anyway, he won't go far.
I mean, there's been like a time or two recently where, because everyone in this house except me has like a complete just abandon of caution when it comes to like, you know, sleeping the fucking door over when it's open. He's got out into the front garden without being noticed, which is more of an issue because, you know, that also has the road out there and shit. And all he's done when the door closed was just sit there and wait for the door to open. He doesn't want to. He doesn't actually want to go anywhere.
Are you man enough to be at the basket?
I guess I will be. I mean, everyone else came rolling over anyway, so, you know, what does it matter?
I'm trying so hard, they keep stealing.
Oh, the game's just lagging the fuck out.
Well, that sucks.
Do you have anything else you wanted to talk about?
Yes, but I just had a thought that is unrelated
Go for
and
it.
evil. Gavin, are you participating in No Nut November?
No.
If you were, how long do you think you would last?
I'd probably just forget at some point and just do it anyway. Like, probably after a week at most, I'd forget.
Some of my friends were like, we should do it. That'd be fun. And I'm like, it's unhealthy for you. What? No.
I mean, beyond that,
Insane
also, it just doesn't make
people.
any sense to me. It feels like the stink of like some bizarre like Christian, like, oh, you gotta be, you know, like, you keep yourself safe for marriage in Jesus or something.
I mean, I don't know what the origin is, but it just seems like a challenge devised by horny people.
I mean, it's gonna be that, or it's gonna be some like fucking weird celibacy thing. You gotta keep like your seed, otherwise the women win or something.
As long as these things can't get to me, we should be good. I'm like, why is it going over there?
Did it change target to me?
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't describe that as necessary.
I died. The Muslims cannot deal with a pack of the tiny shits. This one anyway can't.
Oh, well, I have the Hydra Spotling, so. It's so funny. It's so funny though. Oh shit. You know, it's just that easy. You know, it's just that easy. All you need is an uninterrupted Hydra splatling and you win.
Are you participating in No Not November?
No. This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard, honestly. I think I tried like once when I was a teenager. I don't even remember. Do you have the Hydra splatling per chance?
Nope.
Well, that's unfortunate. Cause that's a good spot for it right up there. I think that went in. Oh my god, it did. He's so good at the game. Alright, we gotta get literally all of these eggs in. Uh-oh. That steelhead bomb kind of ruined my plan with its funny amount of knockback. Alright, noiselings, prepare to die.
It feels like whenever like a fucking rain thing is happening, it's just all over the place forever. It doesn't seem like there is any fucking escape unless there's like 2 of them and I just haven't noticed.
I'm not sure. Fucking chumps every damn time. Anyway, the real spooky thing about Halloween was that I ended it off by spending 6 hours reading the last 2 chapters of Dragalia Lost. Finally, because the game that came out like months ago, and yeah, the game's end of service announcement was who knows how long ago. And I'm like,
that was during like I think the spring.
Yeah, I'm like, I'll get to it, and then, you know, just like, I know how long reading this game takes me. Like, an event story, just, you know, normal event will take me like 3 hours. So I'm like, well, how long are 3 story chapters gonna be? So, yeah, it's like, I'm so fucking sad. It's like, it feels weird because, oh.
I'll start making those noises.
It feels weird because, you know, it's a mobile game. It's like, wow, imagine having feelings for a mobile game. Stockholm
outside of
syndrome
their
ass.
business practices, these things are still legitimate games and works of art.
Yeah, it's like, I genuinely like the stories and characters and stuff. They're just fun. Oh god.
I love the crab just dying the second a single foot falls into the water.
Am I still the only one left?
No, I got back up. For all the good I can do except the Hydra splatling.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So what'd you make of it?
It's like, I think it's like the ending, or I don't know, just the game itself.
The entire thing, like the ending, final chapters, like whatever you want to say.
Yeah. Yeah, I do really like it, honestly. Like, it's not the best, you know. It's not Final Fantasy 14 or anything. But you know, I feel like if you are like, I can only enjoy things if they're the best, then you're kind of depriving yourself of a lot of joy. I don't know. I feel like I'm like tripping myself into being like, you can't like a mobile game story a lot.
You are, yes, which is, there's a whole lot of discussion in that, but yeah.
Which is funny because it's like, and every mobile game player says this about their game, but Dragalia really was the most generous. Like,
I honestly, I do genuinely think the only one that can really be counted as most generous was truly actually Granblue, and everyone else is just pretending.
That's just because they give you 100 or
They
300
let you
free
essentially
rolls.
get the entire roster every new year. Yeah,
I don't know how true that is because I never played Grand Blue because it's the clunkiest game of all time. But
I have. I mean, yes, it's like an ancient browser game, effectively. But like, I have like several hundred characters in that fucking game from the time I did play it, and basically all of them exclusively came from that fucking like the New Year's rolls.
yeah, I'm what they call a seasonal player, where I just log in for the free rolls and then say maybe one. Well, not anymore, but in the past I'm like maybe one day I'll play it.
I mean, I tried to play it, but A, janky as shit, and B, it's that thing of like, there's so much it wants me to fucking do to like unlock classes and like progress the story and all the rest of it. And then in and around all this, like, by the way, here's another goddamn event. There's literally no gap ever. Always events all the time, forever. There's no such thing as downtime to do story or anything else. Events now, events now, events now. And it's just like, this is such a relentless fucking hell drive that I literally cannot see the fucking main story or anything. Or like, I'd have to like literally sacrifice event time and the apparently super valuable drops they have and stuff to just be able to do any of this. It was deranged. And I had that issue with a lot of things. It's also why one of the main reasons I fell off Fire Emblem Heroes was just a constant, here's a new thing, do it, here's a new thing, do it, do it, do it. It's downtime. You can have downtime, that's fine, you're allowed to. It's one of the biggest reasons GFL stuck with me is because GFL would just fuck off for months, effectively.
uh, more often than not to its detriment, but
I mean, it's like once it was like just insanely to its detriment, but like especially starting out whenever it was just like, okay, it's like 3 months between major events. Excellent. That's 3 months you can do story, 3 months you can build up like units, 3 months you can spend all your resources just developing shit. 3 months you can just do what the fuck ever in between having to gather everything up for the big shit.
I mean, our mutual friend who loved Grand Blue is now very annoyed with it. So
Yeah.
I think that's the most telling thing.
Some part of me wonders how much of that's like game design. Because she also played like the insane blue tech high end shit.
Yeah, probably. I'm standing up here anyway, so don't get mad at me because this is now my perch. Oh wait, whoops. That was a foolish decision on my part. Oh shit.
That code is super fucking with eggs. You know, I keep seeing it like failing to pick them up, and then someone zooms in and grabs it, and it's just like, oh great, thanks.
This is... Wow, how did they survive that? Oh, okay, the rain got me. But anyway, don't play mobile games ever. But yeah, this kind of it. The Dragalia thing was insane. Like that's that's definitely the reason it died. Which it died a warrior's death in that case. But
Wait, what's the reason it died?
you never had any reason to roll the gacha because they made all the free characters good enough to do endgame content. And even then, they usually gave you enough stuff that you could get who you wanted anyway. Like, I didn't spend money on that game for, like, however long it was. Like, probably years at that point. But, yeah, the ending is... I don't want to spoil anything in case anyone... anyone is somehow willing to, get there in a month, which I think is relatively implausible unless you have a lot of free time. But it's like I think you wouldn't like it because it kind of harps on its theme a lot, But
If it does it too much, yes, that makes me extremely angry unless it's doing it in clever and nuanced ways. Just saying the theme over and over again out loud in exact words like Final Fantasy 14 did makes me deeply angry. It's just like, yes, I got it. Thanks. Stop wasting my fucking time.
yeah, I think the big takeaway for me was like, you know how like the power of friendship is like, you know, so overdone and stuff.
When people say it's overdone because they're edgy teenagers.
Well, it's like I feel like a lot of time it just kind of like isn't really earned, you know? Like, yeah, they're friends and all, but like, you know, to have it work to that extent. And one thing I do like about Dragalia is that where am I aiming this? You're the only one I see. All right, there we go. The thing I like about Dragalia is that literally the whole entire game is like the main character Yuden is the goodest boy. He's trying to make peace with everyone and stuff. Every event is about basically getting new friends and, you know, through their hardships and stuff. Like,
Can't believe Dragalia lost is just Steven Universe.
it is, oh my god. So then when they pull the power of friendship thing at the end, like I feel like it's actually earned.
Aye.
Which is nice. Kind of the problem is that like I don't know how much of it was like rushing or whatever, but a lot of the story, like, you know, you have this cast of main characters that is ever expanding. And even the side characters that are very important. And then a lot of the time they just don't get screen time forever. So it kind of is jarring in a way where you're like, hey, where's Laxi? Laxi hasn't shown up in forever, even though she's supposed to be with the party. But, I mean, other than that, it's just like... And honestly, even for the ending, like, a lot of the main characters have their moments. Some of them are kind of rushed, which, you know, can't really blame them. I have a feeling that they would have been given more time.
Yeah.
Like, Xena in particular, kind of... Her whole... She goes through so much trauma in 2 story beats that, like, there's no way this was actually intentional. But, it's like everyone kind of gets their moment. Like, they... Despite the rush, they did still do that, which I really appreciate. Even Laxi got it. I was making jokes with Aki. She's the only other person I know who has played through all Dragalia that I could like do live commentary with. I was like, oh man, Laxi's definitely gonna have a moment, haha. Like, definitely not convinced at all. And then she actually did. Like, all the main characters kind of did. I was very happy about that. It is kind of like confusing. It's like it had a very abstract theme where it's like it's the it's the usual story of hope and stuff, but framed as like possibility. Like it's kind of like the main antagonist is like they want to make a world where there's no possibility, there's no fate or anything.
Also just possibility.
And it's like
also Final Fantasy.
You know, when you have a base concept like that, trying to explain it in any more detail is stuff that like just I'm not well suited for that stuff. So, but I mean,
I'm just ribbing.
Yeah, no. But
it's like kind of literally what was 14 was on the book. It's the effect of this.
I mean, really, like all stories like this are just a different flavor of hope versus despair. Depending,
they're all listed like a different flavor of you should kill nihilists. Yes.
Yeah, depending on like how it's worded and stuff. But
version would just be no, you just kneecap the nihilists and then just make them realize, well, this is it. Redeem yourself or die. I don't care which.
Yeah. It was kind of nice because like Yuden is usually that guy who's like trying to help them, but then after a point they're just characters that like despite everything just don't want to be helped or whatever, so then he actually just kind of offs them, and I was genuinely surprised.
Yeah, that's actually remarkably surprising. Isn't that right, Final Fantasy 14?
But yeah, like, it's just, because, you know, it took so long, I stayed up until like 4 in the morning, even though I had to go to bed at 2. So I'm still kind of, honestly, yeah, though, I woke up, I'm still not tired, despite it being the afternoon, which is pretty good. But, yeah, I'm like, I gotta get this, I gotta get it done. I've been holding it off for so long.
Was it just a time thing, or was it I don't want it to make the end real?
Wait, what?
Was it just like you didn't get to it because of time, or was it I didn't want to make the ending
No,
real?
I didn't get to it because of time, yeah.
Okay.
Like I was talking about before, but it, you know, in hindsight, it is kind of like that because I was living life just fine, not really thinking about it, and now I'm thinking about it a lot. I'm like, I can't believe it. It's sad. It's just sad.
Here comes them all eventually.
It's a mobile game that actually ended though, which is like kind of nice. Like a mobile, like I was sitting at the credits and I'm like, this is kind of weird. I'm like watching a credit scene on my phone on a mobile game. Yeah, it's like, cause then I was like, on my to-do list, I'm like, cause I'm pretty sure people upload stuff on YouTube, so I was just gonna spend a day to like, basically try to archive as many things as I could.
Yeah.
And as it turns out, someone has already been doing that, and they kind
I'm
of
sure like they began locking onto that the second like the closure service was announced.
yeah. So it's like they were like, "Hey, I don't have every character story and stuff. Can I get help? Like, can people record, you know, using only auto, the full English, the full Japanese, the English text, Japanese audio, the other way around." And they're gonna release it as like a torrent when they're done editing the over 2,000 hours or so.
That's pretty cool.
And yeah, you bet your ass I'm watching out for that. Wow, he followed me all the way here. Wow, that was close.
Keep that as a permanent seed.
Yeah. It's gonna be big. So
Well, yeah.
like
It's
the
gonna be fucking giant.
but it's nice, like the game is actually gonna be preserved, which it needs, because like the wiki has all the text and stuff, but every line is voiced. I don't know if in English, but in Japanese every single line is voiced, and I think that adds a lot to it. And the music too, even the little stupid mobile game animations.
At least a lot of the music is also licensed stuff, so that will just exist outside of it anyway. Not all over the course that you deal with it is.
I just downloaded the whole soundtrack off of YouTube, so I'm not too sure. But
I remember when, at least when I was playing, I'm pretty sure even afterwards, like a lot of the event songs are just like licensed from like.
yeah, they are like they're actual songs, actual vocals, things like that. Like the part of the reason why I'm like I should do the Dragalia thing now is because I've been going through a lot of music that I've been meaning to listen to, and then like add them. Where is it? Am I stupid?
It's over this way.
Like add them, like be like, oh, I want to add this song to like my highlights playlist. So I've been listening to a lot of songs and marking which ones I want to like save in the big playlist that I really listen to all the time. And Dragalia was on the chopping block, and I'm like, well, oh, I'm stupid. I was like, well, in case there's spoilers or anything, I should probably just, finish the game now before I listen to this.
Soundtrack. It's like the song on the soundtrack was called Yuden's Funeral. And I was like, what?
Also, just like context is important too. But I'm like, I usually played without music because it's a mobile game, right? So,
He's sitting on top of this fucking thing.
yeah.
He's like floating at it.
Oh, hopefully I don't die from this. You got it with 17 seconds left even. I haven't been paying attention at all. Yeah, it's like I genuinely can't believe how much story and stuff is in Dragalia. It's very nice. There are events that chain into each other. Kind of unfortunately, events that are story important. I went into one of the chapters and they're like, we beat this guy and all these people are together. I'm like, wait, what? Uh-oh. So that kind of ruined a story important part of an event. But yeah. I'm gonna miss it. I stopped playing it once end of service happened because, you know, why would you keep playing it, I guess. I already had all the, like, a lot of the end game stuff anyway. But, I don't know. But mobile games take a lot of time. Even if it's just sitting there grinding it out. But I did enjoy building teams. Because I played that game fully auto. Which makes it kind of a different game than if you play it normally. Is your screen just black?
Nope, mine is working.
Okay. Well, that's weird.
I think the game crashed you.
We'll wait a bit.
Okay.
But yeah, because like when you auto, you're at the whims of the AI, which was very good, by the way. The AI can do everything, even the final boss.
It's extremely funny because when I played ages ago, the AI couldn't even walk in a straight line.
Yeah, no, they updated it, so like there is I guess I'm just gonna close the game. There is a way where you basically build teams, use specific prints and weapons and stuff, so that your teammates don't, your AI teammates don't die at specific points because they're relatively predictable. And it's like that was a neat way to play it, honestly. But oh my god, I thought the game crashed again. Yeah, I can't really recommend going into it now. Even though all the events are archived, they did a good job with that. It's just like the story does get difficult. There are roadblocks and stuff where they're like, hey, you have to grind out these weapons if you want to progress the story, not just arbitrarily because they want you to play the game, but because you kind of do have to if you want to win.
See, that's the sort of thing where like I wonder if that wasn't part of the issue.
I don't think so because it's not that bad. I'm talking about in the context of reading 26 chapters and who knows how many events in the span of a month. In that context, like, I think with those roadblocks, that kind of makes it not so easy breezy. Like, Granblue was kind of like that too. There was a part in Granblue where even with all my fest units and stuff, I had to actually engage with the game to get past the story.
There's engaging with the game, and then there's like, do these high-end raids or whatever the fuck it is for weapons. You know what I mean?
Like, kind of, but it's not, I don't know, it's not that bad. The Agito are pretty difficult.
It's like if you had to fucking do like the Savage Region 14 for story stuff, I was like, no, that's the range.
Oh yeah, no, they're not really that bad. Maybe kind of, I don't know. The Agito stuff is definitely tough because usually with the stuff, it's like they have the weapon weaknesses. So usually if you have your foot in the door in one element where like one element can clear the high story content because you have like good adventurers or,
yeah,
you know, weapons for it or something, then, you know, you just do fire beats wind, and then wind can then, you know, with the new wind stuff that can beat the water thing and stuff. But with Agito, you use red to get red, which I still don't agree with that decision. But yeah, it's like it does get a bit difficult. But even then, it's kind of nice too because all the story, like all the normal story missions, cost no stamina. So you don't have to wait and grind stamina and stuff either, which is nice. Oh, it was just an actual good game. You know, if it wasn't a gacha game, it'd be
high control support.
Yeah, I mean, just play auto. Even though
in that case, why would I fucking play at all?
Yeah, like That's a reason a lot of people don't like playing mobile games, because a lot of them, just do this mission 500 times. It's like
The Archive is a game I absolutely adore in terms of like characters, art, music, and all the rest of it. And then it's like, hey, you can just like hit a button to automatically do all the levels after you beat the monster. And kind of like, there's fucking nothing to do after a bit.
it is like the team building's good, and then once the team is built, you do just have to wait for the game to get to the next part where you can team build again. Yeah, I mean, it's a huge time sink too, but if you have the time, I recommend like watching the stories on YouTube or something. It's kind of unfortunate because auto is slow. Like, it would take even longer if you watch them auto, which is why I think it's nice to have the game so you can just tap to the next line of dialogue without having to listen to the full voice line. But, because they're ending the service, it's not like we have a choice.
We're reaching the point where like a lot of the big prominent games are either going to have to evolve or start ending and being replaced in terms of mobile stuff. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. And also like some like collapses and failures are getting more high profile. Just for that reason.
Like, what do you mean?
Well, like Sino Alice for one.
Yeah, see, I'm not familiar with that at all.
So that one, I don't think Square Enix published it. They might have, but it was like, its selling card was it was written by Yoko Taro.
Oh yeah, no, okay, I saw that story.
Yeah, and there's like the whole thing with like Taiwanese servers ending, and instead of just like closing servers or whatever, he wrote a unique ending for the Taiwanese server that does the near trick where when you see the ending, it deletes your account and logs you out. You can't make a new account or log back in.
Wait, I think I understand. I was thinking about this while listening to the Undertale soundtrack. I think I know why Gavin likes Undertale now.
Why is that?
It does very Yoko Taro-esque things. You probably don't actually think about it. You don't even know about those. Probably. I didn't know about them until I went wiki searching. Where it's
I know about like a lot of like it's secret tricks and shit in the background.
Yeah, like if you do a pacifist ending and then like
yeah, like it also has like it locks it in certain files, so you can't just easily cheat it and go around that to like undo your genocide run or whatever. Yeah, I know that, and I respect that a lot.
I didn't even know that was a thing, and I don't even know if I ever would have known it was a thing.
I knew that was a thing, and that's part of the reason why I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm good. I know I don't need. I can just watch the boss fight. Also, to be honest, like. At least in Undertale, no harm. Like, there's a lot of cool, like, hero speeches and shit for a lot of the characters you're fighting in the genocide run. A lot of the rest of it is just, like, Babby's first grim talk. So, no, like, you stick a lot better to, like, the quirky or, like, the more heartfelt shit, I think. Trying to do the edgy stuff, he just can't swing it, to be honest.
I think, like... Because the Undertale is known for being played pacifist. Like, I feel like most people are going to play it as that first.
Yeah, they will, yeah.
So the idea is you kind of, like, get to know and love the characters and stuff. And then doing a genocide run and killing them. That just kind of... The game doesn't even really have to do anything because it already did all the legwork in making you feel emotional about it,
Yeah, that's true. It's just like you get this like double-edged sword thing where like on the one hand the very concept of like the Undying and Sans fights and that are like fucking gold. Like in many ways like fucking like really like fucking smart and good shit. In another way it's kind of like a double-edged sword thing where like, well, in making it that good you're kind of justifying why people would do it at all to begin with. You know what I mean?
Not quite.
Like, it's the part of like the genocide run is like it makes you laboriously walk up and down areas, and like if you miss a single character, it will just like fuck you out of it, and you have to restart.
Yeah, the idea is that that I didn't realize when I tried to do a genocide run is that you have to kill literally every random encounter too. It's an actual literal genocide run.
Yeah.
So like, at least it tells you. But you
It does.
know,
Yeah, it does tell you when you fucked up, and you're out of it.
like you keep doing encounters until you kill them all, and then the game says like it plays the encounter jingle, and then it says but no one came, which I think is kind of I like that a lot.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. But it's again the swing around of like that is very clearly meant to be like playing up the mindlessly grinding in an RPG thing, but they're still making you do it. And it's it's the whole like self-imposed punishment thing where like if you like this is obviously a very bad thing to do, so you have to suffer through this to see the stuff you want to see. But then it turns around and makes the stuff you see anyway that's some of the fucking raddest shit in the game. So it's kind of like, yeah, what's the message here? You're mixing this shit up.
Like even people who love Undertale, and you know the category of people that love Undertale are like, the genocide route is pretty tedious and stuff. But I don't know. I think it's worth because the game is short enough anyway. Like I think it's worth trying. Yeah, I was listening to the Undertale music and I'm like, I do like this game more than I think I do. I think it's just, this reputation.
I'm trying. I'm joking.
I mean, yeah, it's partially it, I guess. And then I was thinking, can you imagine if the Pope actually played this game and like got to the Alphys Mew Mew part?
Comes on like the Undying Alphas did, and then next day, like they announced that the Catholic Church now permits gay marriage.
That was Pat's whole idea.
Played the long game and won.
But yeah, I'm sad about Dragalia ending, and it's probably gonna make me feel bad. It's like when you finish watching a really good and impactful anime, and then it just haunts you for days or even a week.
I don't really have that.
Okay, we know you're an emotionless prick.
No, it's not that. I think actually, like, something ending is actually very valuable.
Yeah, no, but like you don't feel like sad or like just the fact that it's ended, like all the impacts of it, kind of you just start thinking about them all at once.
Depends on how it handled itself. Like I feel like it like fucked up a bit. I'll be like, yeah, I wish this could have kept going or got more. If it does everything to satisfaction, kind of like yes, just let it end and that's fine. That's good.
Well, no, I'm talking more about like. Not that you don't want it to end, but when it ends, like, the whole experience just kind of hits you like a brick for a few days.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I feel that. I understand that, yeah.
No, but the UFO did the funny movement glitch again.
Did it?
Yep. Well, hopefully there's an egg up there. If not, I'm dead at the bottom here.
I mean, I'm also dead. Yeah, eggs are in the
Thank God they can go through bosses. Because otherwise we wouldn't have made it.
It's interesting to think about, because, like, the devs have explicitly said, like, they have a defined endpoint for Girls Frontline, and it's within, like, the next 2 or 3 major story events, probably. And part of the reason for that is there is a literal Girls Frontline 2 in development at the moment, so,
It's not really the end.
It's not really the end, but it is fun. It is fun to think about. This is one that actually met a standard end, like a fucking game would, but not we ran out of service, but no, we literally wrote everything we wanted to and got to an ending. Like, we want to do a new story with a new game type, so, like, that's what the second game is, but, like, this one will end. The service won't end because they're saying, like, they'll just, like, do side stories of the dolls fucking about or whatever. Because, it still makes money. We're not just going to throw that away. But the actual story will come to an end at some point within, like, the next year and a half on the Chinese server anyway, and then we have to, wait for the end to catch up.
Hooray.
It's fun to think about because like there's a lot of some games are closing, other ones are like needing to find endpoints. Where like mobile games is a thing have been around long enough that we're starting to see structure coming to them as a segment of the market, as a genre thing unto themselves. Anyway, when's it gonna Musume again? Come on.
It's never.
Come on, side games. You put them in Grand Blue, you translated their lines and stuff in Grand Blue and everything. Fucking went, but come on, when? Cowards. Oh yeah, like fucking one of the Idolmaster games, like one of the venerable ones, is also just reaching an endpoint and closing as well.
Is it
This
being
is the
replaced?
season apparently. I think it already has been replaced because there's like fucking 3 or 4 of those things active at any given time. Which is probably why they're closing that one. It's kind of like, well, the other ones have subsumed it or whatever. That dolphin do that off the map? What the fuck?
There's a little ledge down there. Yeah, don't mind me. Just emotional over a game that most people think is mid. Don't mind me. As always with me, it comes down to liking the characters a lot, and everything else doesn't matter.
I mean, yeah, that's perfectly fine. I'm glad, look, it has that effect. I mean, it's like, oh,
We're so fun.
pleasant. That's sweet. We're boned, yeah. Well, no, that's pleasant and sweet, and I'm glad that it had some form of closure instead of just that shit's fucked and the server closes a week later.
Yeah.
I fucking hate this weapon so much.
War was hell down there. Ahoo, ahoo, ahoo. In other video game news, Apex Legends new season came out. I don't know how much you actually care about that.
Not really at all.
Yeah, normally I wouldn't care about it, but one, the character is trans, which is awesome. And two, the map is kind of cool after I was like, I have like 20 minutes. I can watch the dev thing about the new map because I'm kind of curious because I kind of want to try it again just to try the new legend, who is trans, by the way.
You must say that every time.
But it's cool because the map is like, it's a moon that's kind of breaking apart. And the idea is that the residents of the planet are trying to, save the moon, protect it and then make it habitable too. They're terraforming it. So a lot of the points of interest on the map are related to the terraforming of the moon. Like you have the terraformer itself, which is making the grass. You have the atmosphere thing, which is making the atmosphere. You have the backup atmosphere thing because that's important. You have the gardens. Yeah, you have the gardens and stuff. Because terraforming a moon is expensive, they need funding, so they have areas for the companies that are funding them. In fact, the whole point of the video game taking place on there is because they needed funding, so they let the Apex Legends
Bloodsport competition come in.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And the new hero is really not happy about that at all because this is kind of her pet project, I think. I'm not really caught up on the Apex lore.
Enjoy it.
But yeah, so it's and then they were talking about the theme for this one is heaven and hell, and I'm like, what the hell? So all the terraform stuff, the beautiful garden and whatnot is the heaven portion, and then the part that the moon kind of ended up resisting or hasn't gotten terraformed yet is the hell part.
I'd be deeply concerned if the moon was able to resist terraforming.
Well, it's some
that wording that make me
some parts just don't terraform well apparently. There's kind of a forest that kind of failed because It just didn't catch. And they're like, yeah, because we didn't want to make it just like kind of a white barren wasteland. And I was like, that sucks. That's stupid. I would like that, you know? Have you considered me? Oh, they were so close. And not a lot of it is white. It kind of does look like a usual Apex map from above, but
I was gonna say, like, to be honest, like, like a fucking like, stark white moon field or rifts and shit would be more visually interesting, I think. Because a lot of, at least, granted, I haven't seen the rest of the map as it is, but like, I'm kind of like, most battle royale maps kind of look the same. It's just some buildings around some fucking woods, and maybe a big dirt hole occasionally.
yeah, like all the Apex maps, this one included, look the same to me, except for the bright neon green one.
Except for the one that has like the vortex on one side.
Which is very funny because you have that map and then you just have another map that looks like the other ones. But I mean, the concept is just really cool of like, you know, terraforming a moon and stuff, and it's like nice to have the context for all the places you actually are in the game, because with Apex I'm like, I don't care about any of these maps because they're all just kind of bland and boring. But maybe like I want to go look for maybe developer interviews on the other maps. Maybe they all also have meaning. They're not going to be as cool as terraforming a fucking moon that's breaking apart, but you know, it would still help, I think.
I mean, like, some of them will make mention of, like, oh, this is a thing related to Titanfall, and I'll just, at that point, think in my head, like, you never mention this name again until you've murdered your CEO. Until you've killed him.
I still have to play Titanfall.
Like, Titanfall 1 doesn't have, like, it has, like, story stuff, like, in and around the multiplayer matches, because that was its whole gimmick, but that's very awkward to see and do. I think people probably have the cutscenes and all done up. Titanfall 2 is, like, an actual fucking game of a single player campaign that's fucking excellent, so you might as well just jump to that one.
Yeah, like I bought it while it was on sale with the intent of playing it while I was thinking of getting into Apex. And that unfortunately kind of didn't work out because the game is hard. Unlike Fortnite, I feel like I don't have a chance to win. Even when building was a thing in Fortnite. But yeah, still, I don't know. I think it's just a neat. It still seems fun mechanically and stuff, so I do want to try it again. We got it's in the bag.
Still really if this like doesn't fucking kill me. I love burning through a fucking egg and it doesn't get picked up.
They fixed it. It's okay. Yeah, I don't know how ethical it is to plug Apex Legends, but
I mean, there's an intrinsic stink because it's published by EA before anything else.
the skins cost $20, but you know.
There's all of that, but mainly published by EA. Like Eternal Hell Bastards, who should really just collapsed by now in a just world. They do have like some studios capable of making good games.
I need this person to stay here with me. Don't leave me. I can't kill these things. Oh, thank God it's big over there. It's probably this one then. That's even worse, honestly.
Went to this shit one. We should have enough eggs on there.
Oh shit. Actually, you know what? It's a good idea to wait till we're closer to the basket. Yeah, it's just the ink brush sucks. Hate this POS.
Oh, my boy. Do you have anything else with Apex Legends?
Not really. We'll
Okay.
we'll see if I actually start playing it within the next day or two. Because the new season is out right now, as of an hour and a half ago.
Fuck's sake.
Oh, whoever was killing that guy got close. There we go. In other news, Sonic Frontiers got a new prologue video featuring Knuckles the Echidna. Honestly, it's good.
It's pretty good.
Stock Chow sound effects aside, which they're so old they might as well be stock sound effects. That's just that's just what I call them in my brain.
I was gonna say that. I don't think that's our stock sound expert, but okay.
Why?
Yeah, I'm feeling like if that's like the standard of writing we have to look forward to, there's gonna be a fucking treat actually.
Wow, that actually saved someone.
On that front.
Yeah, it's like, how do you feel about Knuckles' new voice?
It's alright. For some of his lines, it's a bit like, it doesn't exactly work, but you know, for the most part, especially like the more somber, like straight ones, it's actually really good. When he tries to put like a bit of verb into it for like I want to like fight people, it's like nah, you don't quite have it for that.
I'm not a fan of it, honestly. Like, it sounds stupefied. You know what I mean?
I see that a wee bit, yeah.
Like, he talks kind of like this, you know. Like, whereas his voice was kind of sharp, at least in the Sonic Adventure era, where like, you know,
It's
he's
because
like,
he was voiced by Dan Green, who has the sharpest voice known to man.
like, I have to find the Master Emerald. You know, it's like, I like that voice a lot. Now it's like, I have to find the Master Emerald. I'm like,
I mean, they want him like more grounded and down to earth, and I'll say that I would prefer that infinitely to like Sonic Lost World, but
Knuckles wasn't even in that game. Let's be real.
he was in that game,
Amy and Knuckles weren't even in that game. Let's be like, what was that side plot, by the way? I forgot about it until right now because it's so.
Every time he literally like every single line he says is literally goes, "I could have done that better," and it's kind of like. Okay, that's literally the only thing you've said this entire game, Knuckles. Each time you appear, you say it again. And they're just in the field from generations because we can't have locations or anything. That'd be scary. That'd be scary.
Yeah, like Knuckles' voice is really bad in the Tails V. Like that was, I think, it's not where it premiered apparently, but that's where I first really heard it. And God, it just sounds so bad in that one. I think.
And it might have been that direction has changed in response to that, which would be pretty neat.
I think it's just like, oh, that's embarrassing. It's like, I don't know, maybe he can't like talk. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like the voice.
Yeah, I don't really know what that means, but sure.
But like, you know, in the Tails channel thing, he's trying to talk casually, and like, I'm like, is that why it sounds like shit? But you know.
I mean, here I felt like he did a really good job with the more serious, somber bits.
Yeah, I mean, that's somber, you know, like that's a bit different. So like, maybe that is it, but yeah, it's like a.
To be fair, Knuckles sounding unnatural when he tries to be casual is actually kind of fitting, I think.
Not like that.
Every day of his life with a stick up his ass.
It's not in that sense. I know what you mean though. Other than that, I'm so glad. Like the Sonic movie was, I feel like was one of the first times we really got to see Knuckles like fuck things up, you know? Like
Yeah.
he doesn't really get that kind of opportunity in the games or anything. I mean, maybe in the comics, I don't know, but
probably in the comics and stuff. I imagine it's not in the games. So like a lot of the reason a lot of stuff isn't in the games. Whoever was in charge was just like, oh, well, you know, like IGN said, IGN, these people who just spent all their time hating this game series say this is like cringe and bad, so we should just have like literally zero, nothing happen ever, because then it would be bad. And it's just kind of like, you know. I was gonna say the hot take of calling the Happy Tree Friends writers is an insult to the concept of writing. I would say that's excessively generous at best.
I think the ink brush knows their role. Insane moments in Salmon Run. Oh, there was a girl there. Well, yeah, like in the I think part of the reason why I really liked the Sonic 2 movie was just because Knuckles himself actually like goes hard, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, of course everything like his voice being good and like how they characterized him as like kind of a brute tribesman as well. I really liked, but you know, he actually gets action scenes. He's actually really like punching shit. It's awesome. And then in this,
Yeah.
he's like really punching shit again. Don't block him a little bit.
Fucking satisfying crunch too.
Yeah, like even just the little thing, like the Chow wanting the fruit from the tree, instead of like getting it down normally, he just as he's walking by, he casually punches the tree and it knocks it down.
I love that. That was great.
Like it's just
character in a Sonic thing.
Yeah. Like I really like the direction they're taking Knuckles now recently, because I feel like the ideas were there, but he just kind of never really worked. So they're actually realizing how he should be.
I think they never really give it a chance to work, if you know what I mean.
Maybe, but I was thinking like, because Knuckles used to be my favorite Sonic character when I was a kid, and I think that it was like my imagination imagining him like how he actually is now, when he really wasn't that in reality. Like maybe that might have been a part of it. So it's good that it's actually like in reality now. But yeah, like him fighting the things. Like once the robots showed up, I'm like, Knuckles better be able to one-shot destroy these things. To like, you know, help show that he is stronger than Sonic, who has to do his funny wind kicks and circle around them and shit like we see in the gameplay. Like Knuckles doesn't have to do any of that. He just fucking punches them and they die. Which I really like. He fucking takes the whole cliff out. I'm like, God, this is amazing. Like,
and he's fucking ready to catch a survivor when it actually does make the jump. Like he was fucking waiting with a rock for one of them.
Yeah. It's like, I hate it because you're making me want to actually buy the game because you seem like you care now. Maybe that's just the comic writer. I don't know, but a part of it is like the story will probably be good. I gotta remember that there's the whole, like, it's a game. It's not a story. Like,
how do you mean?
Most of it is gonna be the gameplay that I'm not really interested in, not the story that I'm interested in. And like, you know, just the environments still don't look that interesting either, so it's not like I'm gonna be running around going, whoa, that's cool. Whoa, it's like a terraformed moon or something. Whoa. Like, well, we know where we're gonna find Knuckles in the game because we know that there's the desert world. So that it pans out to show what is probably like basically a screenshot of the desert world. So
it's not a screenshot.
Yeah, not screenshot, but yeah, like probably based on an actual part of it.
Yeah, it's an illustration of it, yeah. I was particularly intrigued by the seeming implication that part of this is like, you know, stumbling upon something that either predates or is linked to where the fuck Perfect Chaos and all of this came from to begin with.
Yeah, because the trailer starts with, yeah, but who made the Master Emerald and Angel Island? Why am I
Yeah,
protecting it? Stuff like that.
and when I began going into that, I was kind of like, oh.
Are we actually getting lore? Are we gonna get lore in this?
I don't even care about like lore specifically. Kind of like, oh, that's just actually something interesting to look at and do.
Also, to call cameo, to call cameo, to call cameo, to call cameo. Best cutscene in Sonic Adventure cameo.
I don't know where the fuck. Okay, they're doing the wall thing down here.
Well, that's just not gonna work.
No, not at all.
Reloading. Reloading. Here you go. Charging. Firing. Oh, son of a bitch.
I'm the Sonic character when he was a kid was Sonic himself. I'm sorry, I know that you were deprived.
Yeah. Also, it's interesting because I was gonna say like Knuckles like lends himself so well to being animated. Then I'm like, wait, every Sonic character does.
Yeah.
Which is just really cool. Oh, the lag. Why am I shooting?
Where are you shooting?
Like, where are they going? But we have quota, so just survive. If you have inkjet or something, that wouldn't be a bad idea.
I'm dead.
Okay, well, hopefully that guy gets you while I do my best.
I hate this. The lag is so fucking bad that one of them is walking into me for a full second and the game takes forever to respond to a button press to make me finally shoot him. Like, it's actually gotten fucking worse after their updates.
And I really like Sonic stuff. I'm not a Sonic fanboy by any means. I haven't even played half of the games, but just kind of the characters, the concepts. What?
What ones have you played?
Okay, I don't know. Give me a damn list.
You haven't played any of the Mega Drive ones. You played Sonic Adventure 1 and 2?
Yes, of course. In a technical sense, I have played the Mega Drive ones, but let's be honest.
When you say in a technical sense, what do you mean?
Like the same way I played Ocarina of Time, aka I played like and Twilight Princess. Where I played the first bit, and then because I was a child who didn't like reading dialogue, I got bored and didn't know what to do. So I stopped. Yeah, kind of the same with those games. Because that was before Sonic Mania came out, and I learned that classic Sonic isn't about going fast, despite what all the advertising tells you. It's actually like just supposed to be played like an actual platformer, and that's when it's actually fun. So I have to re-experience those games.
I feel like you've had a crossed wire considerably.
I don't know what that
going
means.
fast is a lot of the fun of Sonic.
Shut up, modern Sonic fan. But like in classic Sonic, you know, it's the meme where it's like, who put this spring here to bounce you back? I'm supposed to be running. What is the design philosophy here? You know, it's like you're not supposed to be running if you don't know what you're doing.
Which is yeah.
It's fun when it's fast when you know what you're doing, when you played the game 50 times as a kid, so you actually know the level layouts. But if you're playing it for the first time, that's not how it works. Just take your time. You know, have a good time. The game isn't about speed; it's about momentum and physics and stuff. That's where it's fun.
Within 10 minutes, otherwise you will be killed.
What?
The old games had a strict 10 minute.
Okay, yeah, but like
10 minutes, you get killed.
No one's gonna take 10 minutes.
Some children can be.
Yeah, like there's no better like one of the best feelings in any video game ever is just being Sonic and you reach a hill and then you just press down on the D-pad and then he just goes. I don't know why it's so satisfying, but it is. That's what classic Sonic is all about, man. That's it. So I have to go and play those games with that in mind. And also, like, I've watched a lot of like Sonic video essays and stuff about like why the areas are so.
A lot of them starting with Sonic had a rough transition to 3D.
Like why all the areas are so cool and stuff too. So like it'll be nice to go in and be able to appreciate that. Oh my God! Stop moving.
No.
Yeah, like it's nice though that like I feel like Sonic recently has been more interesting, more cool, you know, like
Yeah, they finally seem to have, like, the depression has finally lifted, or someone has fucking fired or been fired or died, so they're allowed to have fun again.
Yeah, like not 90s cool, but concept cool. And like Sonic is doing cool things. He has cool moves and stuff. You know.
The director was saying like he wants to make this one not as like a thing for like fans or whatever, but I think he also wants to make something he finds interesting and cool, and then just see how what people make of it. I'm kind of like, yeah, that's the way. It's the fucking way to do it.
I'm very curious to see Sonic Frontiers. Like, it's yeah, it's a big game, so I wasn't even like, hey Gavin, you should stream it so that I can see it. That'd be fun. But I don't know, maybe like
even if I was still streaming, I would not stream it. When I'm sitting dark by myself in the dark to play. It's just going to be me in the game, and that's it. Everyone else can get into the fucking pit.
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool. Like, some streamers with games like that just do, like, quick check-in streams. I remember a lot of people did that with Breath of the Wild and stuff, where they'd mostly play it by themselves, but then just do a stream about it. And, like, that might be an interesting idea.
No. Not for me. You know where to hear what I think of it. When I post a clip of me boosting across the surface of water with just the words "ah" over it, and then that's it.
This is really going to cut into our DPS.
Yep. There we go.
Fucking hell. Oh, but did the zoop again? Did you see it? Whoa, okay, there was a guy under there. Well.
Didn't know they were dead.
Honestly, if I remembered about the crab tank, we probably could have done that.
I had the fucking bike, so I used it once for like a refill and also to save, and then that was it.
Even then, I would have no area to stand for it, probably.
3 silvers, though.
Yep. So who cares? Saw a friend with the white suit, and I'm like, that's not good. I'm falling behind. I'm supposed to be the Salmon Run loser.
You do it to yourself, but don't, and that's what makes it worse. Watch the video, looks pretty good. Yeah, it's quite nice.
I feel like if there's a like 2D animated Sonic thing at this stage of the game, it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
I don't know about Sonic Prime though. We'll see.
I mean, like, it's probably gonna be at best passable, but I think at worst it's just gonna be kind of shit.
I mean,
not for like a. It's because, you know, my main thing even before any of like the concept or whatever, it's like I see, you know, the Netflix logo and I'm just kind of like, alright, see ya. Just bye. If this thing ends up in any way decent, it's a fucking miracle.
I mean, despite being associated with one of the worst video games of all time, the Sonic Boom Show was pretty good, I thought. So, Like,
Yeah, but that wasn't funded and like involved with Netflix. You know, the company who actively strangle anything good they get into their hands because it's not even for the benefit of business. They just strangle it for some deranged reason. Thanks, buddy. Saw me go up there and still pulled it down and got me killed by a mouse anyway. Piece of shit. Yeah, the battle music was rad. That came on, I was just like, oh shit. They did release like they released like some like example music and stuff from the game, like here's area and battle music, and it's all that kind of stuff. I'm just kind of like, oh, this soundtrack is gonna fuck.
yeah, admittedly, it's not my kind of thing, but it is kind of funny that it has a very distinct theme and direction.
I did remember saying like part of the reason for that is a lot of the music producers and like crew and stuff on this one are from Sega's like rhythm game arcade division. I'm just kind of like, oh, that makes a load of sense. Why didn't we do this before?
I'm so fucking curious what the reception of Sonic Frontiers is gonna be. I'm so curious.
At this point, if I feel like it's probably going to review very well, and it's probably generally going to be pretty good, but there's going to be people who've made it their entire personality to scream about it being terrible, like screeching about how, like, you know. I mean, we still see shit like that. Like, there's a recent one where someone was like, oh, like, they fucking, like, he doesn't have a little dip on his muzzle like, for his eye to go into or whatever. It's like, what the fuck are you talking
Look,
about?
I agree. I never would have thought about it in my life if they didn't say it. I agree, though, but, like, yeah, it is kind of funny how just stuff like that just pops up once a week. like
just like, you are deprived. Like, fucking get over it. Like, it's gonna be, if it's good or bad, it'll be by the merit of the game, not just the range preference for like some version of Sonic that, you know, looked like this at a certain point in time. Fucking like, you can be nostalgic for specific looks, but like very small design elements like that, especially ones that don't actually change or affect anything, just fucking get over yourselves. Jesus. There's like a fucking death cult around this game almost. You think that anomaly, but you know, Sonic Lost World exists.
What? The music in Sonic Lost World is good. We've been over this.
No, like I listened to it when I played it, and because like there was not a single track of them that came to stage in my head. That is a feeling grid for a Sonic game. What else was there?
I guess that's a thing you can do.
Mm.
I revived someone while they had jumped back to the base while dead. Oh, hopefully whoever has the Hydra Swatling. Oh, they're not here, so who knows?
God knows where they are.
Squeaky Steelers are coming from behind the basket, so that would be a really good place for them to be to like intercept them, you know.
That's a lot of Cohawks.
What is this, Cohawks on parade? Yeah, I mean, I think my prediction for Sonic Frontiers is that it's going to lack polish, but it's still going to be a competent game that has a good story, and that will be enough to make it good. That is my guess.
Mm.
But the gameplay loop itself probably won't be very good.
No, I think the gameplay would
But,
be
you know,
fine.
like it'll be fun to run around in at the very least. Which is good, because Sonic needs a game like that. Like a fully realized game like that. That's not just a fan game where you're in a box.
I mean, like, no fan game's really done that anyway. You're not allowed to run around in them because momentum means you can't run anywhere that isn't a downward slope. But 1 week, we'll see.
I'm worried about the binging morning though, because you know everybody's ass is gonna be binging that shit.
Yeah, I kind of wonder about that, but again, like, we'll see. Because some part of me want things like they probably wouldn't have said that if it wasn't Sonic. You know what I mean? I feel like if this was like a fucking Breath of the Wild, the person like seeing Breath of the Wild for the first time, they wouldn't mention anything where they go, "Don't binge it." They would have said, "It's fine, go for it," even though, like, that game gets hideously repetitive and runs out of shit to do after like 20 hours, if that.
Yeah, I'm just worried because it seems like the story is the big high. Well, for me and probably other people, the story is the big highlight of this game. And if I were playing it, I would definitely be binging that shit because people are definitely gonna spoil it, and that's like you really don't want that game spoiled. I think so. You know, hopefully that's not a dangerous loop. Other people are like, it's an open world game, and those are fun, which is true. So.
This is the other thing, like, the person said, like, don't binge it, I just kind of like, so do they regularly play open world games, or is this, like, you know, something they normally wouldn't partake in, or what? It's kind of like an important factor as well. I mean, like, it's a fine quality to have, to be fair, to be like, well, actually, like, I don't want to just sit at the end of the content vacuum pump and suck it all out, but... I'm just hoping, like, I'm just waiting for it to finally come out so it can stop being like, what is, or whatever, and just be like, okay, now I know.
Yeah. Now we know that it's what they envisioned with Sonic Lost World. That was interesting.
They didn't envision anything with Sonic Lost World, that was its problem.
They envisioned Bowser.
Okay, that's
Bowser.
true. They envisioned having a Mario game.
I mean, it's kind of funny. I wonder if that like people say that as like it's a derogatory like coincidence thing, but I feel like because it was a part of the Nintendo deal, that was a part of the literal design philosophy when they were making the game.
And it might have been, actually, yeah.
Because it's like, well, we're working with Nintendo. It'd be kind of cool if we made a Mario-esque Sonic game.
Like, maybe that's what we need to, like, explode on the Wii U or whatever the fuck, yeah. And it wasn't. Not at all. And a week after that is Pokemon as well, I'm pretty sure.
Wow, really?
Yep, pretty sure.
Can they?
It's like it's within like close to a week of.
Can they reveal the big mechanic, please? It's kind of killing me here.
Big mechanic?
That I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I feel like this thing.
Oh, sorry, you looked at the leak shit. Yeah.
Yeah, this thing that may or may not be real because it's in a leak. Basically solely defines what version you want, and and that sounds like it's an exaggeration, but I don't think it is. Like, and they just have not said anything. Literally nothing. Oh my god. Was it because we were over the basket? I thought they fixed that. Haha.
They didn't fix anything. They just said they did. They didn't actually change anything. They just pretended.
Anyway, I think it's special time. Unfortunately, my special is ass.
Unfortunately, I'm stuck on Inkwell Sniper shooting at me very determinately, so I could not do anything after that. way does this sniper go?
Oh, yeah, we're screwed.
Like shooting the eggs towards the basket. You know, be there to save mankind. Oh, actually, never mind. The sniper just wouldn't the wall.
Might as well get the 20 extra points.
Luigi, no roads in your way. Is that us then, or what?
I mean, I could still go for a little more.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do one more.
Is anything less on your like list, or is that it?
Oh, that's it.
All right.
Do you have anything on your list, Gavin?
I finished Oberdin.
Oh yeah, did we talk about? Oh, we talked about not
I
finishing.
played it for all of half an hour before we last went. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's extremely good. It's a very aesthetic game, like visually gorgeous. Music's fucking excellent all the way through. It's extremely fitting. It is just very pleasant music for like what you're doing. Investigating this like the bizarre occurrences on this like abandoned ship. Pardon me. It is a extremely clever detective game. Like the way you have to, like it does make the most of its structure, like having like making you have to like track what happened across like multiple scenes, even as the center of the scene may be about something completely different from like the last one you were looking at. And stuff like that. So you know you have to like, keep multiple threads, tracks at once. You have to review things over and over again while focusing on specific people to try and like see who they were, where they were, what they were doing, stuff like that. Yeah, it's really good.
I think that it's like a relatively unique concept for a puzzle game too. I don't think it's been done before.
Not before. There's been a few done since. Like the one I actually played one of those before this a few weeks ago. That was Case of the Golden Idol, which is a similar-ish idea. Not like you don't have like an actual like walking around the thing, and you don't have like an in-game thing explains being like you are a person seeing all these things. It's more just like you are an omnipresent like narrator who has to put this stuff, well, not narrator, but, like observer who puts this stuff together after the fact or whatever. But it's the same kind of like gameplay idea where like you're observing what's happened in the scene, you're trying to identify who's in it from stuff in the environment, stuff on them, what they're saying and doing, explaining what you're seeing, what you're doing, all the rest of it. That game is also very good. I would highly recommend that one too.
One more egg. Got it.
Yep. But yeah, Overdone, extremely good. Highly recommend. People like kept like some people kept saying stuff like, "Oh, I couldn't get like the 4 Chinese top men." Like,
It's just
they
a funny
couldn't
sentence with no context.
Yeah, I know. So they couldn't identify the 4 of them separately, and it's kind of like you are either hilariously racist or just weren't paying any attention at all. Because 2 of them have extremely overt clues to identify them, like who they are, and like if there are clues for like number 4, I couldn't find it. I found some for 3, and even if I was wrong, it's like there's only 2 left to swap their names. You know what I mean? Like one of them is basically a fucking gimme. Like he literally sits under a thing that has his like crew number above his fucking head.
Yeah, but that could be anyone. It could have been a coincidence.
Could be, except everyone else in the scene also lines up with their crew number. This is very funny. Like it's not a big number or anything. It's a little tag on like a thing, but it's there. You have like, it's a thing of like if you show your face into like the actual environment instead of just like gazing at faces, like you can put together a lot. I got several people before I was technically supposed to, for instance, so that when they finally popped up with like a face or whatever, you just plug in the fit and then you automatically get it. The only ones I had to brute force were like to find the last two I had, which is basically because I had no fucking idea who either of these two people were beyond the fact that they were one of like the last 6 names or whatever, or last 6 options. And there's probably clues for them somewhere. I just didn't find them. Yeah, extremely good game. It took me about 7 hours, 8 hours, I think, which, you know, for the price is extremely fine. That's some good shit.
Yeah, just cool concept, cool kind of
Cool concept,
story,
executed perfectly.
cool art style, visual style,
Yeah.
cool music. Actually, there we go. Tyson, leave it. Drop it.
The fucking like horde to like, get the fucking sniper, and the time it took me to finally get through them, I still died, and you went and killed the sniper anyway.
Well, I'm out of special, so.
I would love to use mine, but I would just fucking die, like right now anyway.
Figured it'd be slower than that.
I love them waiting around the thing for me
Yep.
to come back. Yeah, beyond that, I don't have too much. It's kind of it.
That's it.
Alright, that's us then, yeah.
Yes. But we gotta get our rewards and do the gacha and talk to merch in case you ordered things. Go to the shops, which are useless because I'm still not level 15. Oh wait, I have to actually pay attention to the gear now. Kind of. God, the fact that the past ones are in here is annoying. Might as well keep it. $60, we're almost there. We got another 1/10. Midday heavy splatling user. Midday. Interesting.
We use certain weapons at certain times of the day.
I'm just a midday kind of person. Alright, when's the next one? The 2nd or the 3rd? Times are going to be a little more tight now, unfortunately, so we'll just have to see what might actually work, I guess. I love inconsistent jobs. So yeah. Yeah.